Hello everyone! So today I'm going to be showing you a quick video on how to make your own white pigment paste to create beautiful beach waves in your resin ocean art. So the first and most important thing you are going to need is pure white pigment. I got mine from Blick Artist Supply in store because I have one in my city. But I'm sure you can also get it online or maybe at Amazon. You will also need resin. Just resin, not the hardener, just the part one resin itself. And then a palette knife that's wide with a straight edge. I used a couple different ones. And a container to put the pigment in once you make it into a paste. You'll also need a measuring spoon. But it's up to you what size measuring spoon you use because it all depends on how much pigment paste you're wanting to mix up. And also, you're going to be doing all of this on you need a glass surface to mix this on top of. So I use a glass cutting board upside down on top of a silicone mat so it can slide around. And I'm breaking up some of those clumps even more. And my ratio I used for this pigment paste was 1 part resin and then 1 part of the pigment. But I also have another batch of pigment paste that I made prior to this, which was 1 part resin, 2 parts of the pigment powder. And that one is thicker. So it's really up to you. Now I sped this up at this point because it does take a while. But basically what you're going to want to do is just keep scraping over and over until the 2 parts are thoroughly worked into each other and you're left with a nice, smooth, creamy paste. Also, something really important I want to mention is you need to wear a respirator while you are doing this. You don't see my face, in this video, but I am wearing a respirator, not an N95 mask, not just a regular mask, but a full respirator, the same kind that you would want to wear when working with resin. Because and it's not the resin that you have to worry about when doing this, it's the pigment powder. You don't want to inhale that into your lungs. That is bad if you do that. And so I'm wearing a respirator, and I highly strongly advise that you do too when you're working with mica powders or pure pigment powders. They are very harmful to your lungs if you inhale them. I wanted my paste a little bit thicker than what it currently was, so I did add just a little bit more of that titanium dioxide to the paste and then I'm incorporating that in now. It's the right consistency now, and so I'm trying to scrape a lot of it into the center of my cutting board and grabbing my container to put it into. And it's honestly a little difficult, but you just have to keep scraping it off of your glass surface and then scraping it into your container repeatedly. But it's, for me anyway, it was hard to scrape up a lot, and you like a lot all at once. And so I just had to do a little bit over and over and over, and I wasn't mixing up that much to begin with because I'm not going to be doing resin beach scenes that often. Oh, by the way, and if you're wondering if this is a spoiler for an upcoming video, it definitely is. So now you know what to look out for my next video. But so yeah, just keep scraping over and over, and as best as you can to get as much of that as possible off of your glass surface. So voila, there is your DIY white pigment paste. And I also put a piece of tape on the top, on the lid, and wrote down what it was and what the ratio is for this specific pigment paste, especially since I have another batch that is a different ratio. And then cleaning up your glass surface afterwards is super easy. I just sprayed a regular cleaner on it and then wiped it down with a paper towel. Same for my palette knives and all my tools that I use, and it was super easy. I hope this video was helpful for some of you, and be sure to be on the lookout for my next video.